Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start working in Revit. And we're going to open up a template file in order to insert the Rhino file that we talked about earlier. And so this is the Revit 2020 splash screen. You have models here, so these are existing models that I've opened, and then families, which are the sort of the building blocks of Revit. You also have sort of a duplicate over here as well, and so I'm going to go to in the model area, and I'm going to go to new because we want to create a new project from a template, which is a blank sort of file that I've set up for us to use. So I'm going to click on new, and it's going to browse for a template file. Revit has default template files that it gives you access to, but I made one specifically for our class. And you want to go to project and make sure it's creating a new project because it's going to save as a project as opposed to a template to keep that template to be able to be used over and over again as a blank slate. So I'm going to go to browse, and I'm just going to navigate to where I have my template file, so wherever you expanded the file that I gave you. Whoops. So you should have this O1 template 20 RTE. The RTE extension means that it is a template, and if I hover over it, it'll tell you that it's a Revit template. Then I'm just going to click open. It's going to place it into that template file area, and I'm going to click open. And it's going to open up a blank file. It's going to open up to a splash screen that I have currently placed. And I'm going to go ahead and sort of make this guy a little bigger over here. And let's take a look at the interface a little bit for those of you that aren't familiar with it. Over here is my properties, so you can see that up at the top, and it shows the properties of whatever is selected. Right now we're in a sheet, and so it's showing the properties of the sheet, right? And so you can see there are some duplicates with the designer and things like that, things that you can fill out, and sheet category and guide grid. If I were to go to a different view, like a plan A1, you'll see those change. If I were to pick something like the scope box, again, you'll see it change, or the section. So it's just going to show you the properties of whatever is selected, and if nothing is selected, it'll be the view or the sheet. So speaking of views, this is your project browser where you can navigate through your file. It gives you all of your views, plans, 3D views, elevations, and sections. There will be other views as we go along. It also has legends, schedules, which we'll look at later, sheets. So the sheets are actually layouts for the views, so you can take your views and place them on sheets in a layout. So if I go to my composition sheet, right, we have some different views laid out on a sheet that we'll look at later. And then if I go back to my Plan A1 view, I have down at the bottom a view control bar that allows me to do things like change from wireframe to shaded, turn on shadows, so sun. It also has a cropping options down here and some visibility settings that we'll take a look at. All right, you'll notice that I've been opening up different views and they've been stacking up here. Revit actually places one view on top of another view. It doesn't close the other one, and you'll see the tabs start running across the top. So one good habit to get into is to close your hidden inactive windows, which means the ones that are behind this one. So I can click on composition and it comes back, click on that Z open and it comes back. If you come up here to your quick access toolbar, which has commands that are frequently used, you can close your inactive windows and it will click it down to that, which is a good habit to get into. Down here in the bottom right are some selection options. So we'll take a look at those either, so you can toggle selection options on. And then there's a design options area down here as well that we'll take a look at. Okay. Up here at the top, finally, I think most people are familiar with this. You have tabs that have panels that you can access the different commands. When you have something selected, it actually goes green, and that means that that's a tab that's specific to that item. So it's a contextual tab. If you're not, you see where it says modify scope boxes. If you're not on that, it shouldn't be green and not contextual. So, and up at the top right is my user login and my help area and things like that. Okay, so when we come back, we'll insert.